there's nothing to prove here. This is just a mama's heart. And Mary's just like, come on into the mess, it's okay. I'm just going to receive you as you are. It's whatever you're ready for is what she's ready to give to you.
Debbie, were you going to share something about this study?
In all vulnerability, I have mother wounds. Like my mom wasn't necessarily like that in many, many of those ways. She was a beautiful, wonderful mother in other ways. But, I grew up in a home where you didn't, once the living room carpet was vacuumed, you didn't go back into that room, because you didn't want to make a mess or whatever. And Mary's just like, come on into the mess, it's okay. I'm just going to receive you as you are. And I don't know. I really like that. It's refreshing to me to feel like there's nothing to prove here. This is just a mama's heart and inviting us into her home. And it's not long either. Like, look, this is just so it's doable, it doesn't feel overwhelming to me. So we all kind of talked about how, what a good mother Mary is and how accessible she is without being overbearing. And this book is exactly like that. It's so accessible. Like, start at the back if you want. I don't know, start in the middle. Probably should start at the beginning, but you can, just leave it in your living room and pick it up. And it doesn't feel overwhelming to me. Like, okay, here's this like theological tome that I'm reading now on the life of Mary, and here's the way I have to measure up. It's more like it's just an invitation, which is so much her heart. She's so gentle, she's so humble, she's so accessible to us. And I really, really love it. I think women are going to love it. And I especially want to speak to the women that maybe feel intimidated, like by entering into a deeper relationship with Mary. And it's just more like Mary saying, just come on in my home, we'll talk. I'll show you around. I'll show you what my life is like. It's whatever you're ready for is what she's ready to give to you.
Yeah, what you shared even about, like, Our Lady is always the mother that we need in every season and circumstance under these different titles. I think actually similarly with the virtues, like certain aspects of her character kind of come forward when we need them the most. And there's just no competition with Our Lady. She's not trying to make you be somewhere or do something. And she's certainly not competing with your affection for Jesus. There's just like total freedom in her love, total availability in her maternal heart for you to come however you are, with your joys and with your sorrows. Sister, would you be willing to share a little bit about your relationship with Our Lady?
I've struggled with Our Lady because of her perfection of virtue and because of her sinlessness. It's like, okay, like, that's great, Mary, but you were born without sin. How could I ever be like you? Because I am clearly a sinner who, I think someone said, sins all the time. And so it's been a journey for me to recognize that, again, like you were saying, like, it's not the competition. Like, I don't have to try to be as holy as Mary because, well, first of all, I don't have to try to be holy because holiness is, again, a response to grace. But also, it's about embracing her and allowing her to embrace us, right? So we can't imitate Our Lady's virtues. We can't draw closer to Our Lady unless we actually allow her to embrace us and draw us closer to her. She is our mother. Jesus gave her to us on the cross. But it's not about what we do. It's about our surrender. It's about our giving up control and allowing Our Lady, allowing her to be our mother, right? She's not going to force her way in. She's not a forceful mother. She's there. She has her arms open and she's ready and waiting and willing to console us in our sorrows, to be joyful with us in our successes and in our victories and in our joys. But she doesn't impose herself on us in those situations. Yes, she's there, and yes, she can help us, but she's waiting for us to say, okay, I'm going to let you help me. Because and it's just like our relationships with one another too, right? Like we can try to help one another, but unless we're willing to receive the help of our friends, it's not going to be fruitful and it's not going to be efficacious, and we're just going to fight and we're just going to become bitter. And so I guess in my relationship with Mary, it's about letting go of my own desire to do it myself, and to be able to say, all right, like I don't I don't have to compete with you. I don't have to be this statue image of Mary, right? Like Debbie was saying, like she was a person. You know, she knows what it is to clean a house. She knows what it is to change diapers. She knows what it is, you know. Yeah, Jesus was sinless, but he was still human. I'm sure he was up crying at night, and Mary knew what it was like to be with him. Something that's so beautiful about Mary is that she's virgin, she's spouse, she's mother. She embodies every vocation of woman. And so every single woman can find in her an example. Every single woman can find in her a confidant. Every single woman can find in her just one who's been there. There's a lot of things that Mary understands simply because she was a woman. And I think that that's something that that is so important to remember, is all the women stuff, if you will. She gets it, and we can go to her with those sorrows. She knows the feminine heart because she has one. That is a gift that Jesus gave us in her, knowing that he doesn't have a feminine heart, right? He was a man. And so there are things, yes, we can always go to Jesus, but I think there are some times when going to Our Lady is just a little bit more of the balm that we need in our femininity. Pope Benedict said in his first year as pontiff, like, heaven is open, heaven has a heart. And he was speaking of the heart of Our Lady on the Feast of the Assumption. That she was taken up, and she's there, and her heart continues to beat in love for us, and she desires to draw us into that heart so that she can bring us to Jesus, who is the ultimate healer, who is the ultimate source of the graces that we need.
Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with us.
We love praying with you, and we want to do that some more. So hit the subscribe button, like this video, and turn on your notifications bell. Bing!